Morning, welcome back. So we've been carting corn yesterday with just too much going on to get much video, but we're in getting a load of lime this morning. It's a bit before 7. I've never been in here before, so I'm not too sure what goes on, but lots of bulldozers and loaders and big earth moving stuff, which is always a bit cool. So anyway, we'll wander in here and try and work out what the go is. Couple of trucks in front of us. So don't start, just got to wait for 5 minutes. They don't start loading till 7 o'clock apparently. So there is a bit of action with lights and they're here. So just wait our turn, and I think we'll talk to them on the two-way here in a minute. And I've got an order number here, so hopefully everything should go to plan. So we're in. Just had to because it's the first time in, they just had to link the truck rego to, we might go back to manual and the gearbox because it wants to change gears on me while I'm going downhill. So we just had to link the truck rego and that to the load. So we'll just get out here. There's a bit of chat going on the two-way, so we'll see how we go. Our turn. So we don't get out of the truck. It's all done by two-way, and just with OH&S and that sort of thing.
Thank you. You good to go?
just a bit of a climb out. And you can see a big excavator working up on the hill there. So he was 2.5 bucketfuls with 25 tonne. I'll weigh off here in a minute. We'll get a bit of an idea of what we got on board. Hopefully we're not heavy, but we should be right. With them safety managers and that, they won't let me leave if I'm overloaded. So climb out, we'll pull up and roll the tarp. So the docket there had just shy of 25, I think it's 25.4, so I sort of wanted 25.5 tonne, so yeah, loader's pretty good. So, but yeah, she's a fair sneak back out of here, so we'll get up here first. It's just starting to rain again. There we go. Just flip that up. Oh, get that over. Flip that over for the tarp. And hopefully it comes out when we get home. But yeah, it's yeah, bit of an experience, but anyway, should be alright. No, we'll yeah, pull up. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I had an apple and a coffee. So we'll yeah, get out the road a bit and pull up somewhere, and probably have to get some fuel before we get home. And yeah, we'll get the tarp rolled, and we're going to run into Melbourne traffic, which isn't going to be great, but anyway. We made it home. We're back. Just had a bit of lunch. Guys are here with the road grader, starting to pull the channel up over on the new farm to try and get a bit of water splashed about over there. So I just ducked over and saw them. But yeah, we'll go out. Tony and Brendan are here. Well, Tony's back on deck after holidays, so yeah, they're floating around. We'll have a look at what they're doing shortly. Yeah, so I'm just going to head out and see with this stuff, whether this stuff will now come out of the truck. Can be notorious for not wanting to come out, this stuff, so fingers crossed it all goes to plan. In other news, we did have some rain last night. Got pretty nasty in spots where I was. There was a bit of hail and with the truck and that, so I wasn't in the hail, but yeah, I drove through where there'd been hail. The road was white, so yeah, this is the paddock that we've spray fallowed. Yeah, we'll try and see if we can get this stuff out without tipping a truck over. Yeah, just had a bit of a reshuffle, so it was pointing up the hill, not on a lane. Oh, spot on, that came out really well. So it's actually not that damp, which is good. So this trailer's probably good for it because you've got all axles on the ground and it does tip pretty high. So, but yeah, worst nightmare. I have seen trucks spend hours trying to get that stuff out. We had a truck here one day, V-double, and the stuff, it just would not come out. So he banged and banged and banged and eventually got it. But yeah, that was my fear because the inside of this tipper's not all that smooth either. So there's a bit there for it, spots there for it to bind up. So no, that worked well. So I'll just pull it forward and just clean the bit off at the back and yeah, roll it up and head for home. Things are definitely looking fresher after a shower of rain, but we're going to need more. It's pretty warm Saturday here, I think 23 or 4 degrees, so yeah, that's going to, they're growing but they're using plenty of moisture too, so hopefully September's wet, fingers crossed. Just giving the truck a bit of a washout. Yeah, it actually came out really well. I was a bit stoked with that. Yeah, I was a bit. My only concern was when we loaded it was getting it back out again, but it's come out really well. So we'll let that drip there. I've got another load to go to another guy down there at some point in time, but yeah, it's just when we can fit it in. Good shearing, not this week, next week. And yeah, I've got a wedding at the end of this week, so that's going to, that I'm actually best man in, so that's going to consume a couple of days, so we won't be trucking again this week. So yeah, we'll just see. I don't think they're desperate for it, but if they are, we might just, yeah, might be early next week, maybe. We'll just see. We don't have to, all the sheep are here for, apart from rams and a few odds and ends out the other farm, but all the sheep are, ewes are still here from weaning, so yeah, it's not gonna, it's only a case of cleaning the shed out, and yeah, we can be ready to go for shearing pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll just see. It might be early next week again. So the boys are knocked off. What we're actually doing here is we're putting a channel in. I think I've mentioned we've got our hands on a hard hosed irrigator. It's got about, which I think the boys will have it back at the house farm now. So it's got about 350 metres of 4-inch hard hose with a sprinkler on the end of it. So what we're doing is I've got the guys that filled the channels in are back here building a channel. So we're going to bring a channel from the supply right round and then through basically down the middle of the block. So what I'm hoping is we can run this irrigator out and it'll just walk its way back in and water. So it'll do a strip about 100 metres wide by, if there's the correct amount of hose on the reel, 340 metres long. So I think just talking, I got onto a guy, a reseller down south, and he's been really good, been sort of talking to him about it a bit. So it should take about 10 hours to do that run, and then we'll effectively just keep moving it along, and we'll miss a bit in that corner, but that's all right, and then we can bring it over and water down this side as well. So we'll just look, if we get another, 25 or 50 mil on this crop, it's obviously it's going to take time to water the block itself. So it could take us 2 weeks, and look, if we jag rain in between, it's not gonna matter. But we just thought we'd have a crack at trying to get some water on this block until we get a chance to. The plan is to put a pivot irrigator up here, but yeah, you don't sort of. We're in the process of getting prices and that sort of stuff at the moment, but yeah, you don't. It's going to be a summertime gig. You don't just sort of click your fingers and put one up overnight. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. So there'll be a couple of days, good couple of days building this. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. They've got all the heights. I'll put it all in with the laser so it's level and that sort of stuff, but it is a bit high at this far end, so they're going to have to go a bit deeper, obviously. The irrigator I think uses sort of 1.5 meg of water a day, so it doesn't use heaps of water. But yeah, if we can get it in, we can try and get a bit of the crop watered, and if it continues to stay dry, then yeah, at least a bit of a shower keeping some of it alive. Back at base, so just putting a decomp through the boom spray the boys are knocked off. So what we have here, and what they've been and picked up, is one of these. So I've done a bit of Googling and YouTubing and that sort of stuff just to see how this works. So effectively we've got the sprinkler head and the model, there should be 340 metres of hose on there, they're telling us. So I don't know how long it's been since it was used, this thing. It was just sitting down under a tree, so we had seen it before, and yeah, so the plan is, I've spoken to a dealer down in Traralgon, down in Gippsland, Victoria, and basically sent him some photos, and he's like, righto, you need this, this, this and this. So he's rounded up some parts for us, and hopefully he's got them on the freight today. And yeah, we'll sort of it won't happen this week, but yeah, once the guys get the channel built down the bottom, over on the new block. Sorry, I'm looking while I'm talking, so I shouldn't be doing that. I should be talking to you. Yeah, so once time we get that channel built, hopefully we'll have this thing operational. It may not happen this week, but as you can sort of see, there's wiring's been chewed and that sort of stuff. So we've got new looms coming, the control panel's missing, so we've got a control panel coming for it. Yeah, but they told me it did go, so we'll see how we go. It's worth a try. So effectively what you do is you set this up on the channel, pull put it into freewheel, pull the sprinkler out with the tractor, and it just, with the water pressure and the gears, the way it's set up, it just will just pull itself back in. So we've got the motor here as well. The guys have had it running, or not my guys, where it's come from, they did chuck a battery on it, and it does start and run. So it's all matched the same. It's the same brand pump and motor as what that thing is. So they're matched together. You can see the frame is actually the fuel tank. So this needs a bit of work too. We'll tidy some wiring up. We've got pressure lines that are null and void, and we've got 90% of the pipe work. We do need a suction hose, so we've got a spare fitting there I think we can rob, so it's a case of getting a suction hose for it, which will be fine. And yeah, look, hopefully it goes. There's no reason why it shouldn't. So this was sort of the main bit. Obviously if the motor didn't go, well, we were snookered. So we'll see how we go once these parts turn up. And yeah, it's going to be pretty windy later in the middle of the week. We're going to try and get some spraying and that done tomorrow. I'm going to go crop spraying. Tony's going to go spray all the channels. And yeah, the rice ground, we've had a bit of a change of plan. And the plan, as if you've been a long time watcher, the plan's always changing here. So I'm not going to flatten it. At the moment, we're going to actually, I'll get Brendan probably to put the grader board on the tractor and run around and fill all those bog holes in. And then we're going to work it up, and then we'll just leave it. And we'll just see what happens going forward. They're telling us that, the meeting I went to the other day, they're telling us that it's only going to be 1 year that, that they're going to limit tonnages. So we may be able to grow it next year. So what I'm thinking is we just come in with an early vetch or something like that we can silage, and then go back into rice or something next year. So anyway, but I do have another thought in my head, but I just won't share that with you just at the moment. Possibly, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, So Brendan's going to do that. There's a stop there that we need to dig out and put in again. It went in a bit wonky from last year. Going to try and get the corn ground sprayed tomorrow, and then yeah, we can start and work it up and get it knocked into shape. We're only a week off the end of September, so we're effectively 5 weeks off corn planting. There's a bit to do with the aircart yet too. We've got no front wheels, so yeah, need to get on and get that sorted as well. So anyway, it is what it is. I've just had a bit of an idea here too, if this didn't, which we could possibly do. So, but anyway, I'll get to, now the lathe's going, we'll get to and get these bushes going. Picked up all the seals and that for the hydraulic cylinders. That one's out of the door on the bottom of the chaser bin. There's the shafts and that. That's the other one's one of the ones off the air seeder. So we've got some kits there. We can replace those ones that we think's a bit dodgy. So yeah, busy. So yeah, once we get this week out of the road and get this get this ready, wedding out of the road, that I'm actually best man in the wedding, so I've sort of have to turn up. So anyway, yeah, get this week out of the road, and then we'll start and hook in, and yeah, but days are getting longer. It's 5:30 now, so yeah, it's not a bad time of year, springtime here, so fingers crossed we can just keep getting some rain, but if we don't, we'll hook into the irrigating next week and try and get water across as much as we can. So anywho, yeah, thanks again. Yeah, plenty happening, so all right, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.